Hi folks, welcome to Greg's Workshop. I'm Greg, and today we're going to be turning this unused space underneath this shelving unit into a storage drawer. For the bottom of the drawer, we'll be using this scrap piece of 3/8 inch plywood. Oh, it looks like a full sheet, but it is scrap, I promise. Need it 24 inches wide. It's going to be 68 inches long. I've got my track set up here. Let's get to cutting. I really like this Craig track saw. Look for a review coming up next week. Alright, we have our plywood cut. We need to get the sides cut out. We're going to be cutting that out of 1x pine. I also really like my SawStop Job Site Pro. Look for a review on this coming up in 2 weeks. And lastly, my rigid R4231 miter saw. I really like this one too. Look for a review coming up in, I don't know, 3 weeks? Man, I bought a lot of tools lately. And what's a shop project without some pocket screws? We're going to be using this joinery method to assemble the sides of the drawer. We have the edges cut. Yeah, there's a little bit of bow here on the long ends. That's okay, we'll take care of that when we attach it to the plywood. We're going to put it together with pocket screws and glue at the corners, and then we'll put the plywood on top and get it attached. Frames together. I'm going to spread some glue on here, put the plywood on top, tack it down with some staples, and we'll be good to go. I'm using my Senko 1/4 inch narrow crown stapler. Narrow crown staples like this are a good fastening option in areas that are hidden but need high strength. Now that the drawer is assembled, it's time to do the layout for the tools that we're going to keep in here. Let's start off with that. Throw a level in right in front. We'll do our track saw tracks. Get some lines drawn, get some little keepers to keep everything from sliding around, and we'll get the drawer slides on. I'm going to be using these little pine blocks. Just going to get them laid out just in place to keep everything where it needs to be. Alright, place for everything and everything in its place. We've got a T-square, we have both levels of Craig track, have a 48 inch level and space for a 24 inch level as well, with plenty of room for future expansion. This is the first project where I've used my Milwaukee M12 installation driver. It's a great tool and it fits perfectly for this use. Drawer slides are all installed. This is backwards from the previous clip just because I had to spin it around to get to the other edge. So these are how the drawer slides are going to work. They're full extension, which is great. I've cut pieces of 2x material and attach the drawer slides to these. Then we'll get this underneath the shelving unit, put some screws in here to hold it in place. Just a couple handles and we'll be good to go. You can see I'm using a spacer block to get a consistent height on this drawer slide. Before I install the drawer, I need to unload everything off of this shelf. I'm going to move it up 1 notch, which is 1.5 inches. That'll give us enough clearance for the drawer. Should still give us enough vertical clearance for everything we want to store. I lied. I moved the shelf up 2 notches. That's 3 inches. I needed the extra space because I made a mistake measuring the height of the drawer. And here it is, fully functional. Full extension slides, works great. Looks a little unfinished though. I'm going to put a cover plate on that. All set. Got the front board on, nice cedar board here, couple of pull handles, everything in its home. The level, Craig tracks, the T-square, room for expansion. I like it. Folks, I hope you found today's project interesting, and I hope it inspires you to look around your shop and find space that you can make use of to store long, flat items. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notified of new videos every Saturday morning, leave a comment, I promise I'll respond, and I'll see you next week on Greg's Workshop.